chords in the other strings. You have a third, and this is the same harmonic there when you play that harmonic. So if you wanted to play and the next note above that, if you finger on the 3rd fret, you've got your 5th again. So there are other harmonics that you can get above this. For instance, above that, you've got a 7th. It's not actually on the fret, and above that you've got another octave, the G. Those are really hard ones to define, so we're going to stick mostly with just the octave, 3rd, and 5th. So by using all 4 strings across, and these 3 frets, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th frets, we can get a scale going, starting on the E string, the G sharp. And with these, there's a lot of interesting chords you can make. Let's start with, say, a G. You fret your low G, play your G here, the 5th fret on the G string, and then the 5th fret on the D string will give you a D, so you'll have the root on the bottom and harmonics of the root and 5th. You could also play a major 7th chord by playing the G on the G string and the F sharp on the D string. That's got a lot of tension to it. You can also finger your low G, play your D, and B. Or you can play a 7th chord with the F sharp and the B. You can get a real nice chords with the C. Again, you can play C and your G and a D to get the C9 chord. And if you go down here, you can play the low E as well. Or you can play your D, B natural, and E. So these are just a few of the chords that you can use. Of course, there's Jocko's old favorite. And by just experimenting, it might help you to make out a chart. There are charts available of harmonics. And going through and finding different ways to finger notes and use the other strings to create chords. Now, there are other ways to create harmonics besides just this. There's one way called pinching harmonics. This is another thing that our friend Jaco Pastorius made famous. The theory is the same, being that an octave up is going to give you the harmonic. So what we would do is, say you're fingering a C here. If you play the harmonic, an octave up from this C is going to give you the harmonic. Now, there are 2 ways to do this. One is to hit the harmonic with your thumb. Have your thumb above this fret, an octave up from the note you want to play, and pluck the note with either your 1st or 2nd finger. Remember, you're not fretting the note, you're just actually holding it on the string. Another way to do it is to have your finger covering it and plucking it with one of the other fingers. So, again, we find the note you want to play, find where it's going to be an octave up from that, and you have to move your right hand along with it. So if you're playing a C, you finger the C down here, finger the C down there, play the false harmonic C an octave up. Your next note, the D, you have to move your hand up, E. Now, besides getting the octave, you can get twice the octave, or the fifth. So say you're playing your C again. If you put your hand above where the G is, you get a fifth above the note. And if you finger it there, you get the octave above it. Another way to get harmonics that I've used is by, instead of holding the string like that and plucking it, you can actually just tap down on the string and you will get the same effect. So say I'm fingering my C. If I just tap on the C above it, the harmonic will ring out. Some of you might recognize that from a piece called Surely the Best, from my second album on Relativity, Radio Free Album. And you might remember that one of the two bass parts in the beginning went like this. And of course, the idea of as you get closer together, shorten the length between the note you play and the octave you play. Again, you're going to get the fifth and the octave again. So if I finger the C and play the C, I've got an octave. If I finger the C and play a G, I've got the fifth. If I finger the C and play on the F, I've got the octave. So you could play Another way harmonics can be used is the thing called sliding harmonics. Now this works a lot better on a fretless bass, and people such as Percy Jones and Bunny Burnell have really almost made a career out of playing these kind of things. However, it can be done. Don't let people tell you it can't, because it can be done on a fretted bass as well. Now the basic technique of this is you play the harmonic, and then after you play it, then you put your finger down on the fret and move it up. Then actually the sound of the harmonic will slide up. So if we hit our G, then we push the finger down the fret and slide it down, say to an E. Or up to the A. Now, of course, since that is the same octave as the note you play, it doesn't sound that different. But if we play the D on the 7th fret, which is an octave higher, and slide it up, or slide it down, and this way you can make a lot of nice chords too, just by sliding one note down. So it's kind of harder as you get, the notes get higher.